Alright, you got it.
Hello everyone, welcome to the video. I'm today joined by DatGeekyGuy. His name is Salam, if I'm not mistaken. Do I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah, that is correct.
Perfect. So anyways, we're doing a little bit of a collaboration today, and we will be going a bit through the previews that have been shown today on the 18th of April. But before we get into that, let's give Salam a little moment to introduce himself and to tell us more about his channel as well.
I would like to basically thank Kugane for having me. So my channel is DatGeekyGuy. I mostly talk about flesh and blood content. I do some Pokemon content too, and just basically here with Kugane here, our collaboration to talk about the Monarch previews so far.
Yeah, and
April. Yep.
Yeah, there have been a lot of really cool ones. I have the first one. I'm right now on the Flesh and Blood TCG community website. For those of you now, where they have a very nice card reveal section where they keep posting the cards almost within a minute of them being spoiled. So yeah, let's go ahead and look at the very first one here then, shall we? So we have Frontline Scout, and there's a bit of flavor text on all of these. Hiding amidst the conch, a soul witness watches in horror as the rating beast rises from the remains of an army. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but we can even see it in the, we can see the horror on the face of this person, we can see the shadow in the background. And now we have the card effect, which says you may have to look at the defending hero's hand, and if it's played from the arsenal, it even gains go again. It costs 0, so technically if you put it in your arsenal, it's a 0 cost, 3 damage go again, and you get information what's going on in the opponent's hand. So what do you think about this card? Is this going to be played in Blitz and Constructed, or?
So I guess the Frontline Scout, I mean the cost is good, it's basically 0. So it's the first card that gives us the ability to look at the defending hero's hand. I mean it really depends on your ability to make out what you're going to do with the information. So it does require some big brains, IQs kind of thing that really you really understand of what are the moves that your opponent is going to do. Some might see this card as like it's useless because it only blocks for 2, but I might see this being played in both Constructed and Blitz actually, and it has the same mechanic of being played from Arsenal against Go Again, which is similar to Scour to Battlescape. At least that's what I think. It will have its place, but really depends on the player themselves if they are comfortable with the information they obtain from looking at the defending hero's hand.
Yeah, I think so too. I think being able to look at the defending hero's hand is quite useful, because sometimes you have a very good hand that you feel like, I could do a lot of damage this turn, but then you don't know if your opponent has any defense reactions and stuff like that, or any good cards to block with. But with a card like this, especially if you play it into your arsenal first and against Go Again, you can look at the hand and you can already know what they are going to be able to block with, and if they even want to block, and so you can decide if you want to go wide on that. So I think this being able to look at your opponent's hand is very strong in case of making decisions in how you want to attack. So yeah, I'm quite excited for this particular card myself.
That's true.
So let's move on to the next one then and see what else we got today. There's so many good cards today. The next one is already the token, the Blasmophat, the Soul Harvester. So we have allies now.
This reminds me of those, I guess, creatures you call it in Magic, I think?
Yeah, I feel it's a bit of a mix between Magic creatures and creatures in... what's the game called again? Hearthstone?
Hearthstone,
That you can actually target and attack them in a way.
True. This also reminds me of the Planeswalker, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, kind of, except you cannot block. Except I don't think you can block to stop attacks against these things. So let's see, allies can be attacked and can't be defended with defense. They are destroyed, so you cannot defend them. If the opponent attacks this, you cannot block that attack, it seems so.
Yeah, true. Also, at the end of turn, basically, if you don't destroy this ally, they just heal everything back up, back to 6, and then you just start over. So, if you were to planning to destroy this guy, you better do it in just one attack or within that same turn.
Yeah, otherwise you just get six damage thrown at you every turn. But there's a hidden thing that I feel will be really good because these things are 7 life and you cannot block them. That also means that you will have more stuff in your hand during your turn to attack with. So getting one of these on the field is just overall good, in my opinion, because you have more cards in your hand, you can pressure your opponent more. Like, getting one of these on the field can really turn the whole game around instantly.
So when you see the text below the attack, it says that whenever these guys attack, you can actually banish a shadow card from your hand. So this is another way for you to banish a card from the hand into the banish zone if you are a shadow hero. And if at the same time if you do, this is basically a counter to the light hero, I guess, because it says to banish a card from the defending hero's soul. That's interesting.
Yeah, I actually wonder because say you may banish a shadow card from your hand and then it says like a period and a sentence. So I wonder, can you still do this even if the opponent doesn't have a hero soul? I guess you can, right? Because
Yep.
Yeah, it says you may banish a card from the defending hero soul.
So that's true. So the first one is a may and then the second one is a may too. So it really is optional then.
Yeah, I think like it's good to get stuff out of your hand, but I think at the point that you have this thing on the field, you probably already banished enough shadow stuff.
Yeah, you're already losing life with the blood depth, everything.
So I'm not sure if you want to banish even more at this point. I think you might just want to keep your hand and go all in. But yeah, still a very interesting card. We also got Chains Demon ally. He has a very cool backstory concerning this ally, by the way, if you haven't checked it out already. It's on the fabtcg.com website. But yeah, again, 6 damage, 6 life, it can attack for free. Let's see. I just noticed, like, this one doesn't have go again on its attack. So that may make a difference. Like, you can attack, but cannot do anything else for that turn. But this one, on the other hand, the Ursa the Soul Reaper says, well, Ursa is attacking a hero with 1 or more cards in the soul, the attack has go again. So you could attack for 6 with Ursa and then still do your other stuff in the same turn, which is really good as well. And again, the 6 life, it draws some attention away from your hero.
That is true. So this does give an option to go again, but it is specific to the light hero, I guess, because it says the hero must have 1 or more card in their soul.
Yeah.
So counter again towards the light hero. So between these two, which one do you prefer?
I actually think I prefer Ursa a little bit more somehow.
So you like it more because of the go again, I think?
I like it because of the go again, and maybe because I'm a bit biased towards Runeblade. I just like the Runeblade hero more, so...
Yeah, dude, the Runeblade hero is... I mean, I feel it's really a cool concept to have the Shadow Runeblade thing going on.
Yeah, I also quite like the backstory they had for it. Like, it's a little bit edgy, I have to admit, but but it's a fun little side story. Like, well, they both have a demon inside them, but I like Chain more. He seems cooler.
Yeah, true.
And then we got this next piece of legendary equipment, Carrion Husk. So if you defend with Carrion Husk, banish it when the common chain closes. And if you have less than 13 life, you also banish Carrion Husk. And this thing can block for 6 damage.
Basically, this card alone can block Command and Conquer and most of the cards that cost 2 and below, I think.
Yeah, like...
So without...
This thing alone is going to stop a lot of aggressive strategies. Like, imagine facing a warrior and they do their big what's it called, the Iron Song determination turn, and you're like, no, let me put my giant Carrion Husk in front of your 15 damage dominate. But looking at the artwork though, I can't help it. I feel it looks a bit funny. Like that chess piece is huge. It's like almost as big as those watchtowers to the side.
And that's true.
Like, this is not a chess piece. This is just real estate for Chain or Levia. They can rent out some apartments in this chess piece. I mean, come on, look at the size of that thing.
I guess that's why that it is blocking for 6. Chain just go hides in there.
Yeah, it's not a chess piece. It's just like it's like a fortress.
Also, it says that if you defend it, it gets banished. So it is a one-time use kind of thing. So you block it for 6 one time, and then it's gone. It's into the banish zone.
Yeah, and it makes people that are attacking, it makes their attacks really awkward, right? Like, Brute, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna attack with their weapons a few times to try and get you to attack with this thing? Are they gonna go for the big swing right away? Ira as well, like Ira likes to push out a 7 damage early on, but with something like this, it is suddenly not as interesting, so...
Yeah.
I'm curious what this will do in terms of game balance, because blocking for 6 is a lot.
Also, at the let's say you have like the second line here at the start of your turn, if you have 13 or less life, you just banishes it without any... I mean, even though you didn't use this to block or anything, if you have 13 or less life, it just auto banishes it to the banish zone.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that?
Well, it's fair. It's a good way to balance this thing out. Like, and it also has blood depth, so you will be losing some life every turn. Levy has a way to stop the blood depth life cost, but I believe Chain does not. He has to take that 1 damage each turn. So I guess this thing is a lot better in a Levia deck than it will be in a Chain deck, but... Yeah, I think the 13 life is quite thematic because it kind of forces the opponent to play differently. And I think any deck that forces the opponent to play differently also will eventually result in different kinds of decks becoming viable. Like maybe a Ranger becomes viable with something like this because there are 2 classes using this.
True.
I'm curious if many people will use it. I mean, we do have some very solid chess pieces at least for Runeblade already. The Bloodsheet Skeleton that can technically block for 3, that doesn't have the blood depth cost and can give you a big combo turn.
Yeah, compare these to Skeleton. I think I would prefer Skeleton because of the discount it gives to every non-attack action and attack action. And also, like you said, it block for 3. It really depends, I think.
Yeah, I mean, but this certainly has its place in the Shadow Brute deck, I think. Yeah. Just because Shadow Brute can stop that blood depth. And it will be a very beautiful card to have as a call for. I can already imagine this being called for. I wonder if this call will be called for as well. I'm a little bit sad though. I kind of hoped for the legendary equipment pieces to have something like a rule text that can turn existing heroes into a shadow or light hero.
That is true. I mean, like converting any current heroes to a shadow or a light. So depending on whatever equipment you equip. Is that what you meant?
Yeah, like that's what I was hoping for, so that the old decks can also use some of the new cards. Because right now there's so many cards that are kind of locked behind 1 hero, or 2 heroes in this case. So...
Ira could get a Shadow Mask?
Maybe something like that. I would have liked to see something like that. It will be very thematic in the whole fantasy genre anyways, like, what's the thing called in Zelda with the Majora's Mask turning people evil? So...
That I'm not sure, yeah.
But yeah. Oh well, let's move on to the next spoiler then. I think it's another shadow one. Yeah, there we go. So we have Piercing Shadowvice. You may play Piercing Shadowvice from your banished zone. And if you have dealt arcane damage to an opposing hero this turn, Piercing Shadowvice gains +2 attack power. So this is a 2-cost card that pretty much attacks for 6 most of the time, I would say, in a Runeblade deck. And you can play from your banished zone as well, so that's kind of cool. Do you think this one is going to see play, or?
I think any card that plays out of the banished zone is going to see a place because it doesn't use up the hand size, so you don't have to hold this card. You can just banish it early on and then just use it whenever you are comfortable.
Yeah, I do wonder though, like if you play a banished card, is it banished again or will it go to the graveyard?
Usually any card that you play from the banished zone goes to the graveyard. So this is very similar to Katsu, how he banishes a card using his ability and then you just play it out and then in the end it goes to the discard pile.
Okay, alright, that makes sense, yeah. So we do need cards that can re-banish them then from the graveyard. Like Brute can do that for sure, but for Runeblade I'm not sure if they have a lot of mechanics that can banish these things again.
Yeah, true. I'm not sure yet. We might have to recheck, but it's fine. I guess there are ways to re-banish those cards graveyard back to the banished zone.
Okay, cool. And then we have finally a light action card. It's been a while. It's been mostly Shadow the past days, and suddenly there's a light card as well. So we have Impenetrable Belief. If 3 or more cards have been put into an opposing hero's banished zone this turn, Impenetrable Belief gains +2 defense while defending, and it can attack for 5 damage for 2. This one I'm not sure about if it will be played, to be honest. I mean, the versatility is cool, but it's only nice against shadow heroes, I would say.
It has that precondition of having 3 or more cards, so that's the thing that actually holding this card back, I think. Like you said, it also only useful against the shadow opponent, so you might want to sideboard this out if you really want to play this card. Yeah, that's what I think at least. So I think this is the first attack action card that blocks for 4.
I'm not sure, but it could be. Like, we also have that other one, the one we saw a few days ago. I think it's like
the rear guard, is it?
Yeah, that one. That one can also block extra, I believe.
Yeah, true. Yep, I guess this will see play, but I guess in a limited sense, unless people figure out what to do with this card.
Yeah, but it's good to see stuff that can block for extra though, because at this point of time there are so many attack buffs, especially for heroes like Warrior. Having some extra defense is good. Of course, this one is not gonna work against Dorinthia because Dorinthia doesn't banish stuff, but we need more of this kind of stuff, I think.
True, yep.
So, and then we have one last card that was spoiled by Looty World earlier today. And this one says Rip Through Reality. Really cool artwork, and it says you may play Rip Through Reality from your banished zone, which is nice. And then if you have dealt arcane damage to an opposing hero this turn, Rip Through Reality gains go again. And this is what I was waiting for, because we need more go again cards like this that can be played from the banished zone so that we can actually play Eclipse, because without this stuff it becomes extremely difficult.
Mm-hmm. So it costs 2, it blocks for 3, so that's pretty good, and also it does 4 damage. So let's say compare this with Meet and Greet. Which one do you prefer?
I think I still prefer this one simply because you can play it from your banished zone.
True. It doesn't take up the card space in your hand, so any card that plays out for banished zone is an advantage, I think.
Yeah, and the fact that this is a Blood Depth card, so this one does combo with the Eclipse card. Does the Eclipse card need blood up cards? I can't remember. Like Eclipse, I think it either says you need to play cards from the Banished Zone or blood up cards from the Banished Zone. But like this is one step closer to getting your Eclipse out, so to get your Ursa token. And with Chain himself, he can also give something go again. So this is 3 cards into the 6 card combo you need to pull off. The only thing though, this thing costs 2. So if you're running a decent amount of red cards, I wonder if you're going to run into resource issues, because this costs 2, and let's say that there's like 2 or 3 more cards that also cost 2. You already need at least 2 blues. So it might become difficult to pull off 6 cards like this and then still be able to get that Eclipse onto the field.
Yeah, that's true. Even if you use Skeletor to discount this, it's still, I feel it's still a bit expensive to pull multiple instances of this off, just because of the cost too.
Yeah, like I feel if this had been a 1 cost, then it would have been better. Especially because it does have that arcane damage requirement. If you cannot deal arcane damage or they block the arcane damage with null rune, then the go again part is also gone, so...
True. Now it's just a card in your Banish Zone that's dealing 1 life to you every turn.
Yeah.
Not playing this off.
So the net value is like 3 damage then, because it deals 1 damage to you and then 4 damage to the opponent, requires 2 resources. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to be playable, and this is even the red version already, so this is the strongest this card will get. The yellow and blue one will be worse. I guess they will be like 3 and 2 damage, I guess.
Yeah, true. So the minimum of 2 and maximum of only 4. If this is dealing 6, I would prefer this card, but unfortunately it's only a...
Yeah, I feel at 2 damage it should have dealt 5 damage. At 2 resource, I mean, it should have dealt 5 damage, in my opinion, but maybe I'm really underestimating the power of being able to play these things from the Banished Zone, because it is an extra card in your hand after all.
That is true.
So technically it's like if you can keep just 1 yellow in hand, you could attack for 4 each turn, if you have a means of banishing it as well.
Yeah, that is true. So somehow you have to deal arcane damage first in order for this to actually work.
Yeah, we could create some rune chants, I guess. It's not really Chain's thing, but we do have plenty of rune blade cards that are not specific to Viserai that can create rune chants, so perhaps this will go well in a deck like that. And it says a Shadow Runeblade action, so this is one... Oh no, I'm wrong. I was about to say like this one can be played in Viserai, but Shadow cannot be played in Viserai. For some reason, Viserai is not a Shadow hero, even though his artwork would really suggest it.
Yeah, it does look a bit edgy and shadowy sometimes. I mean, all the time though.
Yeah, but I still feel that cards like Viserai should have gotten the Shadow keyword. Or at least like an updated hero in the set, like just a token that's like Viserai with the Shadow keyword.
That makes sense. Also, when I first saw the article about Hidden Talent, I thought that's what it's about, like giving the Shadow or Light ability to the current heroes. Unfortunately, that's not it.
Yeah, because it says a hidden talent, so, but...
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
Well, it's not the case, unfortunately, and I think this is the last card they have spoiled today. Yeah, I cannot scroll any further. So, yeah, I mean, really cool cards. A lot of cool stuff, actually, so I'm really looking forward to Monarch.
Yeah, that is true. I'm hoping for more light cards instead, starting tomorrow.
Well, I think they're gonna start the light stuff now. I think they just wanted to finish the whole Shadow thing before they went into light. There are still a couple of class cards that have not been revealed yet, I believe, for Shadow, but I think we're going to be seeing mostly light stuff, and then, well, I guess they're going to end the season with generic cards.
Yeah, I do think so too. A few generic cards just to support the current classes.
Yeah,
Right.
just to hype up the current hero decks as well, like people that play those.
About the light heroes, which hero do you think is going to be a light, kind of like, for example, light warrior or let's say light wizard? So which one do you think is most likely to get that light treatment?
I'm not sure, like at first I thought like, okay, light, it's the good guys kind of, but then when you read Chain Story, then it kind of turns out that the light side, they are not really that great, they're kind of evil. So originally I would have said Light Guardian, because light I associate with like, I would say like sheltering, protection, that kind of stuff. But now I'm starting to think maybe it's even a warrior.
I think it's gonna be a light warrior.
Like
I think so too.
if we look historically though, and there is a very strong angel and demon team going on here. So having something like a paladin or a templar may not be may be more in line with a light warrior than a light guardian. And we've seen some artwork that kind of suggests that we're going to get something like a light, like some kind of a holy warrior type of thing. So maybe it's going to be warrior this turn. I mean, warrior is one of the more popular heroes anyways, so
I was hoping for a light ninja or something.
yeah, but the ninjas are not really aligned with Solana at the moment, so I don't think we're gonna see any of those.
It's gonna be, I think it's most likely will be a warrior. Do you think they're going to use the current heroes or they are going with a whole new class for this?
I think they're gonna go with they're probably gonna go with like the current keyword, like either warrior or guardian. And but then give it like a completely new hero, like a new name with a new ability, stuff like that.
So you mean like what they did with the Brute and also Runeblade, they're going to do the same with the light heroes, right?
I think so. Like I'm still thinking there's going to be a healer as well, so maybe we see like a light wizard instead of cleric.
That's true.
So that could be a thing, and then probably either guardian or warrior. Like, well, if we look at the artwork, we see a couple of the impenetrable belief one. We see like these cleric-looking dudes at the front, and the woman at the back as well. She also looks like a cleric. And then we have this guy and woman at the back, and they kind of look like warriors to me. They don't look like guardians somehow. Like all the guardian artwork, it looks more bulky. So I think it's gonna be like light wizard and light warrior for this set.
That makes sense. Yep. Yep. I guess that's it, dude.
Yeah, that's it. We went through all the previews, and I'm really curious what else we're gonna get soon.
Yep.
But yeah, so I think this is a good point to end the video then, and thank you all for watching. If you haven't already, go subscribe to DatGeekyGuy's channel. It's one of the bigger content creators in the Flesh and Blood world right now, and it would be a good thing to go and subscribe there as well. Hit that notification bell to keep up to date with all the videos that are releasing. Is there anything you want to say before we end the video?
No, I just want to say do subscribe to Kugane. He's a great guy and he does quality content, and you guys will learn a lot about Flesh and Blood if you guys are subscribed to him. Yep, that's it guys. Just thanks for watching.
Alright, thank you all, and thank you Salam for the kind words, and see you all next time. Take care.
Bye.